Worst excuses for cheating on paternity court.
Constantly accused me of it, and I kept telling you, you're going to keep pushing, and it's going to happen. Me and him got
evidently you
together
found
that
him,
night.
didn't you?
We ended up having the one night stand, and nothing happened after that night, Your Honor.
I feel like it's her fault too, Your Honor. She should never broke up with me. If she never broke up with me, I would never did what I did.
Also, it's Miss Robinson's fault.
Well, these days, being antsy is all it takes to cheat on your spouse and destroy your own family.
Wiggins, you are here in court to prove that you are not father of Miss Davis's child, Aubrey Wiggins, and say today's result will change your life. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Davis, you claim that Mr. Wiggins knows he's the father of your child and is trying to deny her because he already has 3 children and doesn't want to step up and be a father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Wiggins is in court to save his marriage after betraying his wife for a not-so-valid reason.
Why do you say today's results will change your life?
As a result of being alleged the father of Aubrey, I lost my wife and I want to regain my family.
You lost your family? You were married at the time? Explain.
Yes, Your Honor, I was married and me and my wife went through a separation due to a rough patch. Due to my separation, I became a little antsy, I guess for lack of better terms.
And Mr. Wiggins even blamed Miss Davis's tight pants for their uncanny relationship.
Miss Davis was working for a family member of mine and I seen her and she was looking good and she was walking up some stairs and she had on some really tight pants.
Yes.
So I approached her. It was never supposed to be anything else more than just sex.
No.
But you didn't use
We was
protection.
together for almost 2 years and a half.
We was never together.
So, the stakes were very high today, as due to his lust, Mr. Wiggins had landed in a situation where the only way out was to prove Miss Davis wrong.
Hope is that if you can prove that Aubrey is not your biological child, that you can convince your ex-wife, the woman, I guess she left because of this situation.
Yes, ma'am.
That you want to try to put the family back together.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the stakes are high, very high here.
They are.
After listening to the not-so-faithful husband, the judge moved on to the young baby mama.
You ended up starting a relationship with a married man. He was separated at the time.
Right.
Did you think you were in a relationship?
I was. I knew I was in a relationship.
You did?
2.5
We were
years we
not.
was together.
And so why did you think you were in a relationship, Ms. Davis?
He stated that multiple times.
Was he telling you there was going to be a future?
Yes.
Oh.
He wanted to marry me. He wanted to get a divorce from his wife.
No,
he wanted
Your
to be
Honor.
with me.
No, Your Honor.
Wow, some guts, I must say. Ignoring that, the paternity judge dove into the pregnancy news.
I asked her to let me tell my wife, and of course, because she wanted my wife out of the picture, because she did want more.
You're right. I wanted more because that's what you presented.
And I was good to her, because ultimately I was trying to get something out of her. So I did what I had to do, I felt I needed to do.
2.5 years, how we're not together.
Things happen or said in the bedroom that may not always be.
Man, that is a good way to get on the judge's nerves.
Are you speaking a word this afternoon?
I'm not saying...
So basically you're admitting that you just lying?
I mean,
right?
it wasn't lying.
So you can sleep with her. No, don't. You said you did what you had to do to get what you wanted.
Well, I did say that, Your Honor.
You were a married man.
was.
You sleeping with this girl. You approached her, pursued her.
Mr. Wiggins, the lying cheat himself, accused Miss Davis of infidelity and even brought evidence to prove it. But no one was up for believing him. But what Miss Davis told the judge next shocked us all across the screen.
Because
my
it was just a sex that
It was never a
too
sex
long.
thing. 2.5 years, I don't understand.
What I'm saying is, how did this all go wrong?
I went back to my wife. That's how it all went wrong. Along with Miss Davis not being able to be...
That's when he wants to run back to his wife.
Gotcha.
That's the only reason
So
why he
once you
ran
reached
back.
out to his wife, told her you were pregnant, or did you already have the baby then?
No, I was pregnant.
So, now let's get to the only paternity solution.
Mr. Wiggins, you are the father.
FYI, helping someone can cost you paternity doubt. And Mr. Patrick had to learn that the hard way.
Patrick, you say 5 years ago you made a huge mistake by opening your doors to a stranger who needed a place to stay because that man betrayed you and slept with your girlfriend. Today, you're here to prove that you didn't father Pence's fraternal twins, 4-year-olds Larry and Carrie, and the other man did. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
However, the defendant, Miss Pence, even though she confesses to cheating on her boyfriend, is still confident that Mr. Patrick is the father of her twins.
Mr. Patrick is the father and claimed the DNA test will prove it. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Patrick, take me back to how you found out she cheated.
We had wanted to purchase another home. We met the gentleman. We befriended him, let him move into our home. He offered to help pay the bills and stuff.
So
which
you
I thought would
basically
be,
took in a person that was going to rent a room.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
We got to the infidelity part quickly after the initial testimony. But the way Miss Pence defended her actions was just outrageous.
2, 3 o'clock comes around in the morning. Still no Miss Pence. Why was you gone all night? You know what I mean? What'd you do? Who was you with?
And what was her response?
She just was talking in circles, basically.
I confessed, Your Honor. I had told him that I had slept with the gentleman that had been staying with us. He accused me of it, and I kept telling you, you're going to keep pushing, and it's going to happen. That night it happened.
Yeah, she went down that road. And just look at her audacity while she was explaining her swindling.
Larry had continuously, from
Really?
day one, accused me of cheating constantly.
Mr. Patrick.
Yes, Mr. Patrick. I had never slept with anyone else before that night. I had
you're always
constantly.
You're so flirtatious.
That's how I was brought up. I'm constantly calling people honey and babe.
What did
That's
I tell
just.
you?
I'm from the South.
Different
That's how
men
I
will
was
take it
raised. It
different.
has nothing to do with that. I never slept with anyone before that.
Things will happen if you keep pushing. Wow, woman, you know how to gloss over things, don't you? But wait, there's more.
The gentleman that just left your house 5-6 days says he's gonna move in, help pay bills, rent a room, then he leaves. Do you know why he left?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
I got a good idea.
Why do you think he left?
I believe that they were starting to catch feelings for one another or whatever.
That's not true,
and
Mr.
A
Patrick.
little bit too close for comfort. I think that's
That's not
why.
true.
I think he was worried about me catching on to it.
And we also got to listen to how things really went down.
Why that guy? It seemed like you went out
there
looking
was
for him.
no specific reason as to why that guy. It was just someone at the time that was around, and it happened. He had, Your Honor. I was with my neighbor, like I had stated earlier. Me and her had went out. I did kind of look for him, I guess you could say a little. Me and him got
Evidently you
together
found
that
him,
night.
didn't you?
We ended up having the one night stand, and nothing happened.
That's right. There's good reality TV stuff, but no nonsense allowed. The judge was more concerned with paternity than cheating.
Did you find out you were pregnant?
Yes, a calendar,
Please step over to it and explain this.
Your Honor, is the date that me and Mr. Patrick had sex, and then on August 7th is the date that the twins were born.
That don't mean that. That's a 5-day window.
It does. The doctor had said that the twins were conceived right around the 2nd of November, Your Honor.
After the evidence and the doctor discussing whether slow learning in children is genetic or not, the lie detector test was disclosed, and it was a total bomb.
Met with a licensed polygraph examiner.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were asked the following question. During the last 10 years of your relationship with Mr. Patrick, have you had sexual contact with any other man other than the man whom you admitted to cheating with?
Yes, Your Honor.
You said no. The lie detector determined you were being deceptive.
The only thing left to clear up the paternity question was the DNA results.
Mr. Patrick, you are the father.
I told you that you was the father. I told you.
Mr. Mosley is in court today to save his upcoming wedding, as his fiancée has threatened to leave him if he is the father of Miss Humphrey's child.
Ms. Humphreys, you are in court to prove that Mr. Mosley fathered your 2-month-old son, Tyler, while he was separated from the mother of his children. Mr. Mosley, you said she's going after the wrong man and that she should be pointing her paternity finger at her ex-boyfriend, Mr. Cook, because he's the baby's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
This was revealed when the judge asked Mr. Mosley why he was certain he wasn't the father.
Were you in a sexual relationship with Miss Humphreys?
Yes, I was.
Was it during the window of conception Tyler was conceived?
No.
In your estimation?
No, Your Honor.
Is that true, Miss Humphreys?
No, Your Honor, it was. Because at the time when I got conceived, we were sexual. That was like the end of August, beginning of September.
Were you having sex with anyone else during that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were. Was that sex also unprotected?
Yes, Your Honor.
But Miss Humphreys was confident in Mr. Mosley being the father.
Why are you so certain Mr. Mosley is your child's father?
Because like I say, we were sexual, found out what day I conceived. And that was like the end of August, the beginning of September.
But you also were having sex with the other guy during that time as
Yes.
well. Do you consider him as a potential father as well?
I mean, he could be, but I was more sexual, Mr. Mosley.
You were having more sex with him?
Yes.
However, when the judge asked Mr. Mosley about the plaintiff's claims, all he could say was this.
Do the dates add up in your mind that she says she was intimate with you at the end of August, beginning of September? Is that true?
Your Honor, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't even paying attention. I was there for the sex. I don't know. I just did it.
Still, how did he know Miss Humphrey's baby wasn't his? Because her son didn't resemble him.
Your children look like you, and you're saying that you don't look anything like Tyler.
No, I don't. I mean, look at my children. They got my same chin. They got the big cheeks like me. Not only that, they was by the same woman, and they still don't look like her. No,
And that leads you to doubt.
yes, a lot of doubt.
Okay.
And Mr. Mosley was not ready to go down that easily. as he blamed his infidelity on his own fiancée.
I feel like it's her fault too, Your Honor. She should never broke up with me. If she never broke up with me, I would never did what I did.
Also, it's Miss Robinson's fault.
Miss Robinson, on the other hand, was not ready to fall for another man's antics.
This is his fault and this is her fault, and my thing is this: he's been doing things with women, this pinch of it, compared to what I've been going through in the last 7.5 years. She was one, we got into it because she contacted me. Out of all the people that he messes with, she contacted me.
When the bickering between the women got a little heated, the judge interrupted the situation like this.
You brought me into this. I had nothing to do with what y'all had going on.
But you kept involving yourself. Why?
How can
Ladies,
she know what I'm saying?
ladies, let's calm down. You do understand why Robinson is so sad.
I
They have
don't.
2 children together, so you don't think she has a reason to be mad.
No, I don't.
However, when the judge asked the baby mama about her relationship with Mr. Mosley in the present, her answer made us go really mad.
What is the nature of your relationship with Mr. Mosley now?
Sexual. We still, we friends.
That she's telling the truth.
She telling the truth.
So you still have sex with Miss Humphrey?
I have.
And you say that without reservation, yes I am. But you stand here saying your family's on the line, you don't
Listen.
want Miss Robinson to leave you, but you saying you having sex with Miss Humphrey.
Yeesh! And Mr. Mosley's response to the revealed situation will make you want to punch him in the face.
I'm not in love with her, but I do love her, okay? I used to be in love with her, but I kind of drifted off. I never had a father in my life to actually teach me certain things. And I know I shouldn't put this in the picture. You know, my mother taught me characteristics of a man. She never taught me how to be a man.
But you making babiys and then you denying and you don't want to take care of the ones you have. You going back and forth.
So I'm
Right,
confusing you now?
And the big, huge state of mind of confusion. And I'm tired.
So, now that we know the only way to end this confusion, what should we do? So, let's just get to that.
In the case of Humphreys versus Mosley, when it comes to 2-month-old Tyler Humphrey, pertaining to whether his biological father is Mr. Mosley or Mr. Cook, it has been determined by this court. His biological father is Mr. Cook.
Just so you know, if you're flinging around, you might end up in a paternity dispute like this couple here.
Miss Shomo, you confess you had a weekend fling with a coworker while married to the defendant, Mr. Kleckler. Now, because you admit intimate with both men during the same 2-day period, you now say you have no idea who fathered your 11-month-old son, Thesey.
Yes, Your Honor.
Both potential fathers were in court, and the coworker with whom Miss Shomo had cheated on her husband with was requesting full custody of the child.
Mr. Freeman, you admit you are that coworker and you're the second possible biological father. You state if it's determined you are indeed the child's biological father, you want full custody.
Yes, Your Honor.
When the judge asked Miss Shomo why she had cheated on her husband, she responded this way.
Your Honor, I was young. I was going through some difficulty, feeling unwanted by my husband, and I felt Mr. Freeman was giving me more attention than my husband was. I mean, we've been together for 10 years. His friends was more important at time, and he just wanted to run around and not be a family man.
So it was as simple as that. No time, no affection means hall pass for cheating.
At times I wanted to watch movies and spend time with him and go to the park. He didn't want to do that. He just wasn't showing me no affection. So yes, I felt like there was something more out there.
Listening to this, the judge asked about the time of conception.
How did Mr. Freeman get in the picture?
Well, me and him were friends, Your Honor. You know, he just showed me more affection than my husband did, and it led to something else.
Mr. Freeman, when you met, you knew she was a married woman?
Yes, Your Honor.
When did you find out, Mr. Kleckler?
A couple months into the pregnancy as well.
Did she tell you that there was another possible father?
No, Your Honor.
However, what Klecker said next made the whole audience applaud him.
I'm young, and I wasn't happy.
Your Honor, you can't use young as an excuse for everything. We're the same age. I don't have any other children by anybody else.
Miss Shomo, on the other hand, blamed her husband yet again.
Your Honor, this would have never came down to this if he didn't cheat on me with his best friend's aunt.
Really?
It completely ruined my life on till this day.
I said I did
It's
my
because
day.
of him is why we are in this position now. And did I meant to do this to him? No, I did not. Did I want to be with him through the 10 years? No, I did not.
If you think that is too much, listen to how Miss Shomo claimed Mr. Freeman got her pregnant on purpose.
Mr. Freeman wanted a baby with me, and he had told me that he had wanted a baby.
It wasn't like that.
He said he was going to get me pregnant one way or another.
Not like that. I
He
can't do nothing about it, you know.
about it after
I ain't
it,
smirking.
but-
So are you suggesting that he planned that?
Yes, Your Honor, I kind of do. Because I told him repeatedly I did not want a child. I was not ready.
Because it was difficult to tell who was telling the truth and who was lying by this point, Judge Lauren moved on to the results.
In the case of Shomo v. Kleckler Freeman, pertaining to whether Mr. Kleckler or Mr. Freeman is the father of 11-month-old Theseus, it has been determined that the biological father is Mr. Freeman.
This young baby mama made a huge mistake when she fell for a married man, and her daughter might have to pay the price for her mother's actions.
Ms. Lima, you admit to making a huge mistake and hope it doesn't affect your baby Christina. You had an affair with Mr. Anderson, who is married, and believe he's your daughter's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Anderson, you say your whole life is on the line and your marriage, and you're hoping you're not the father today.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the trial begins with the judge asking Miss Lima, how did she meet her baby daddy?
Now, it all started from a Facebook message when Mr. Anderson was messaging me on Facebook. So we started being friends online for about 1.5 years. Then out of the blue one day, he called me and said, let's go out for dinner. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not doing anything, so why not? We went out to dinner and we got a hotel room that night.
But in her defense, she didn't know that he was married.
Did you know he was married?
No, I did not know he was married. He did not show any signs of marriage or anything.
However, when the judge asked Mr. Anderson about the affair, all he had to say was this.
Me and my wife, we had a bad, argument, and I decided to go out and take Miss Lima out one night. And me and her went out to, the hotel. I brought her roses, and, we had sex that night.
Miss Lima responded to this allegation by telling the judge that she dated the liar at the podium for a year.
Ms. Lima, how often would you see Mr. Anderson?
We've seen each other for 2 years, every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays.
Was it strange to you that you only saw him on Saturdays and Sundays, or you thought he was working during the week?
Not really, because I went to his house numerous of times, but...
Wait, excuse me.
Oh no, another lie has been discovered.
Mr. Anderson, where was your family when you would take this woman to your home?
They, my son was probably playing, my kids were probably playing sports or something like that.
Now your story is coming around. You're admitting that this continued past just one night.
So the judge told the not-so-faithful husband to be very truthful with his statement as he was under oath.
Mr. Anderson, I'm gonna remind you, you are in court and you need to tell the truth. It's time for you to lay it on the line. If you really love your wife and your marriage the way you say you do and your family, because you got this young woman over here describing your furniture, and that's a problem to any woman. I'm mad for her.
But hold on. There was a twist in the story yet to come.
When you find out you're pregnant, who do you tell?
I went to Mr. Anderson at first. I went to his family at first. I couldn't contact him, so I went to his family and I got rejected by them.
You did sleep with another man during the window of conception during that time?
Correct.
And you were sleeping with both men without protection?
Correct.
So how did you finally get in touch with him?
Well, I got in touch with him later, we met up, we had sex again when I was around 4 months pregnant.
After this, the judge asked Mr. Anderson if he knew about the pregnancy. He tried the same trick of lying, but failed miserably.
Mr. Anderson, just tell the truth now. Just tell the truth. Really. Did you know Miss Lima was pregnant?
I didn't know, but we did sleep around a couple times.
So you met up with her again when she was pregnant, and you did sleep with her again?
So it was time to put an end to the uncertainty with the DNA result.
Pertaining to whether Mr. Anderson is the father of 1-year-old Christina, Mr. Anderson, you are not her father.